Hello and welcome to Good Game, the show for gamers, by gamers. I'm Junglist.
And I'm Kapowski.
This week we've got a 1 hour long Christmas special in which one lucky gamer will win the beasts.
That's right, we asked you to send us in a segment for Good Game.
And a lot of you did.
So we'll be showing you the best of them, and of course, the winner.
Plus, we'll take a look at the phenomenal impact of Japanese games and the moves real companies are making into Second Life.
And we go inside Plastic Wax, an Australian-based company that makes cutscenes and opening movies for some of the best games out there. We even get a sneak peek at Stalker.
And it's the year of 2006 in review from a gaming perspective. The hits, the misses, and the games you should have been playing.
All that and so much more.
Since we've finished our gaming machine now, we can install the latest drivers and test it out. The order in which you install the drivers is very important. Make sure you install the chipset driver first, followed by the graphics card driver, then the audio driver. After that's done, you'll need to install the various other devices for things like MP3 players, digital cameras, or printers. Then, once you've done that, it's time for a bit of gaming. I hope you've enjoyed building your own gaming machine. Provided you've done your research and thought it through properly, it should last you for around 3 to 4 years. Plus, you've got the satisfaction of having built it all yourself. Anyway, hope to catch you online, guys.
Good game!
Ho, 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 gamers. Can you name the game for this week? It's a bit of a step back in time. Hope you can get it. Answer at the end of the show.
Good game!
Now, Riley, what is this Trackmania? This is the third in the series. It's called Trackmania Nations. The second was Trackmania Sunrise, and the first was just the original Trackmania.
Is everything going well, officer? Commander, there appears to be an unknown identity in our ship. S2333.
You can do stuff like you can talk to people, you can do stuff like take a shower. It's actually like your real life.
This computer is useless. Look at it, nothing.
And if you push that button, see, it won't work.
If you really liked my Good Game review, look at this computer.
Polygons are constructed, vertices moved around, pixels have their hue adjusted, code needs to be copied and pasted from other sources. And of course, there is all the play testing that needs to be done.
Who do you think will win the next console war?
What's a console war?
Who do you think's going to win the next console war? Atari. Getting a Wii.
People think that Star Wars Battlefront 2 is like Battlefield 2, but with a Star Wars theme. And if they're a Star Wars fan, they choose Battlefront 2. But it's not that simple, because both games have pros and cons. The controls on both games are good, but I think Battlefront 2s are better, because it's really hard to get used to flying a plane or a helicopter in Battlefield 2.
Pow, 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 pow! Woohoo! Pow, 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 pow! Pow, pow! Pow! See? The Wii is new technology, new stuff, new ways to play! And...
Hi, I'm Devin Mather. Welcome to Good Game, and I'm going to show you X-Bar, a great way to improve your social gaming.
Press the login thing and you'll notice it loads really quickly. Once you're in, you can see your friends and what they're playing. Chatting in it is just like any other instant messenger, and you can see the join game button, which takes you right into their server.
Black and White 2 is an RTS, but played much differently to a normal RTS such as Age of Empires. In the game, you are a god. You can use your hand to control things within your influence ring, such as pick up boulders, villages, etc. Outside your influence ring, you can only tell your people what to do.
Hello, my name is Ben, and this is my dog Zach. My favourite game is Command & Conquer General 0 Hour. These blow up tanks, and when you press this button, it automatically blows up.
Jimmy, your mother says you've been growing increasingly violent and that these computer games are to blame. It appears the goal of the game is to kill as many innocent civilians as possible.
That's just some of the entries we got to the Win the Beast competition.
Yeah, a huge thank you to everyone that entered. We were blown away by how many entries we got and how good they are.
We'll be showing the best ones throughout the show, and of course, the winner at the end.
To kick things off, here's Ross O'Donovan's The Pitch.
In a world where originality is but a mythical beast waiting to be tamed, the gaming industry strives to come up with the next new and exciting idea to keep you buying their stuff. Sadly, this is not one of those days.
Okay, so next we have Richard Farkas. He's got some rather original and exciting game ideas he'd like to pitch to us.
Original and exciting? In the same sentence? This I can't wait to see. Send them in. Gentlemen, do I have an idea for you? Now, when's the last time you played a game so original that it was almost in a genre of its own? Gentlemen, I'm gonna make both of you very wealthy men. Please, continue. The game is called World of Alex Hempleton, or WOW for short. It revolves around the life of an extraordinary man who works as a mysterious special agent with his brother Sven Hempleton. Together they are the Super Hempleton Brothers. Wait, I'm not finished. You have many goals and obstacles in WoW, which include saving the princess, getting each brother to level 60, eliminating the terrorists, disarming the bomb, building a base of operations, doing quests for NPCs, infiltrating enemy territory without being seen or heard, stopping the activation of a powerful ring-like structure. But, guys, please wait a second, I'm almost done. Pimping, completing puzzles, eating in general hygiene, catching one of each monster, defeating every cyborg master, fishing, collecting shells, and defeating the evil Dr. Robauza! That sounds awfully familiar. Shut up, no it doesn't. Now with all these obstacles, you're lucky that you've got some special powers on your side, such as the power of obesity, making you able to crush enemies by simply jumping on them, the ability to run really fast, different class-specific abilities, time travel using magic dirt, the ability to dual-wield guns, rolling into a little ball to get through obstacles, and for all you who are too afraid to use an HP system, they both have an energy shield that recharges when you hide like a little girly man. So what do you think?
Richard, did you just steal a whole lot of ideas that have proved to be successful in the past and use them as your own?
Yeah, pretty much. Now that's what we like to see.
Where do we sign?
Second Life is just that, an alternative universe. And whilst it's not a game, it does have over 1 million subscribers and is growing rapidly every week.
And now real-life corporations are setting up in there too.
I went to talk to Stephen Hutchin, the technology editor of Sydney Morning Herald Online, to talk about what impact the real life was having on Second Life and vice versa.
Hi.
So Stephen, tell us a bit about Second Life.
Well, Second Life is a meta-universe. It's not quite a game. It's like a combination between a game and a place to hang out. It's just become very popular over the last few months. Been around for about 3 years now, but really taken off in the last couple of months.
What do you think that is?
Well, I think a lot of companies have gone in there and opened up shops and offices and hotels and bureaus. And that influx of commercial activity has given a whole lot of angles for people to write stories about. So that's the main thing. It's the commercial interest coming into Second Life that's driving the interest. One of the key things is that they have designated property rights. So you can go in there and you can build things and you can own them and you can sell them to other avatars inside Second Life. So for instance, there's this guy I interviewed a few weeks ago, Nathan Keir, or his avatar's name is Kermit Quirk, and he invented this game called Tringo, which he invented inside Second Life, and he sells to other Second Life avatars for about the equivalent of $15 a pop. But of course, then the other clincher is that he's managed to get it licensed and sold outside. So it's now available on Nintendo Game Boys. And just this week, an interactive TV station has bought the rights to the game. I think it's maybe the first case of a game that was designed in a virtual world, brought into the real world.
Does that require any programming knowledge, or?
Yeah, well, Nathan is a programmer. His day job is as a programmer. He's based in Brisbane. So I guess, it's not for the complete novice. The big thing is property, though. It's really it's sort of like Monopoly, where people buy up large parcels of virtual land, sell it off to other people who then develop it and put their houses on it and things like that.
When you say develop in Second Life, that means basically coding it up to be a bigger house, or you can code some clothes. And...
Yeah, exactly. Well, they have these things called primitives, which are like atoms, and you can build anything from scratch yourself if you've got the time and the energy, or you can buy it from somebody else.
And some people are actually making a living off that?
Yeah, I think I've read that there's something like 7,000 people making, up to $20,000 a year out of there, and the top 10, I think, or make in the excess of $200,000 a year.
Okay, that's not bad.
It's reasonable money, for a game.
And what exactly are you doing in Second Life for Sydney Morning Herald?
Well, I'm in there as a reporter, which is why I only have access from work. So as you can see, he's completely like me in real life. He's got lots of hair and he's really tall. He's got his shirt off at the moment because I'm still at the Ben Folds gig where I was this time last week. And when I walked into the Ben Folds gig, Ben was there wielding a lightsaber and he was telling everybody to take their shirts off, so I did. And because I'm I'm new at this, I haven't worked out how to put my shirt back on. I go in there to look at things that have happened in there. So, for instance, I did a story on Nathan Keir, and we did a tour of his virtual property and an introduction to his game, which I wrote about, and we also videoed it. And I've got a couple of other stories coming up soon with an Australian professor based in Sacramento who's got a virtual lab in there that shows you what it's like to be a schizophrenic.
And it's interesting to me that, because it's generated so much hype, and there's about 1 million subscribers to Second Life at the moment, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. And, compared with World of Warcraft, which is like 7 million subscribers, and Xbox Online, 3.5.
Exactly, yeah.
But, when I say it punches above its weight, because it's really because of all those other extras in there. Apart from the players, there's all these companies in there, and that's really what's generating the buzz about it.
Thanks for taking the time out to chat to us on Good Game, man, and good luck in Second Life.
Thanks very much.
Stephen Hutchin. Now, I'm sure many of you gamers would love to have a job in the industry, and let's face it, with Australia pumping out some top titles now, it ain't such a bad career choice.
Many unis around the country are now offering courses. We sent Melbourne-based producer Lester Francois inside Swinburne University to find out more about their game design course.
We actually have 2 games-focused courses. One is a double degree that combines a full-blown IT computer science IT type course with the practical and creative aspects of multimedia and games. And the other one is an arts degree,
which focuses more on the other aspects of gaming, the non-programming aspects. We wanted an entry point for people that didn't necessarily want to be hardcore programmers. We realised that gaming was becoming more mainstream, and we thought there'd be a need in the market for people who wanted to get into the games industry and needed some sort of qualification to get there. So that's why we started the degrees.
I teach a subject called Principles of Game Design, which focuses on mod development, specifically with the Unreal Tournament engine. It is a fairly expansive engine. It requires skills from a lot of areas, from programming to 3D Studio Max 3D skills, to Photoshop skills, to sound editing. It's really quite a unique and complete package.
My name's Sarah, and I'm about to graduate from a Bachelor of Multimedia Business Marketing at Swinburne University with a few gaming components. I never really thought about doing any game design until I entered the course, and I was just able to do some game subjects, and that included learning a bit about 3D Max and Unreal Editor, and I've learnt both of those programs and enjoyed it. So this is the map that I've made in the Unreal Editor. As you can see, I've got some big boulders here, and this is just a big wide shot. And if you look here, it looks quite realistic, and we've actually got different layers on the water. And if you actually come a bit closer, it's not as good as I'd like, but we've got a water emitter, so you can actually add all these great things in, and you can see the little bit of the spray of the water when it hits the rocks. And so this is a death match, and people can come in and just wander around and kill each other and stuff like that, so as well as enjoying the scenery.
I'm picking up the modding side of games, where you can basically take an engine that's already built and put your own content on top of that. I've created this thing called a mutator for Unreal, which introduces slight changes to the game to give it more a feel of what you want. So this is my mutator for Unreal. I've modified 2 weapons, The first one we'll see here is the translocator. This gun allows me to teleport myself around like that. What I've done with this gun is allowed myself to teleport other players if I can grab them. Yep, so I've now got a target around him. So now I can, instead of teleporting myself, I'll teleport him up there. So he's dead.
They're learning design. It's very hands-on, and we're sort of getting them to become intimate with usability issues, not just usability in terms of simple functionality, but in relation to a mass market as well, because they're creating content for an engine that has a huge installed user base. The skills that you pick up in game development, crossover into film, advertising, they are the same skills, the same sensibility that you apply. And I think that's something that gives our graduates a robustness that I think will serve them well in the industry.
Good game!
Hello, and welcome back to this, the final episode of The Team. This week, we find the gang at the post-match after-party, where the gracious host Benedict is greeting his guests.
Hola, welcome to the party. Mi casa su casa means make yourself at home. Well, literally means my house, your house, but, semantics, whatever. Have some nachos.
But the polite chit-chat covers up some deep wounds, particularly those of Virginia, who had to be convinced by Simon even to attend the event.
See? Now this is fun, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, sure. Hey, maybe I'll go talk to Emily outside.
Donning a new outfit to talk to Emily, who we know is a Puerto Rican backyard wrestler, Virginia seeks out some womanly advice.
Hey, dude, what's happening?
Hey, I want to ask you something.
See?
How do I get Simon to like me?
Oh, it's easy, really. All you got to do is woo him. You got to woo him.
Oh, right. How did you woo Benedict?
I gave him a quick roundhouse to the head and then threatened to do it again unless he went to the driving with me. You see? You got to woo him. You got to woo him.
Oh, wow. Okay, maybe I'll write him a song.
Oh, yeah, that could work too, a song or a roundhouse kick to the head, whatever works.
Unfortunately, before she can do so, she's waylaid by another member of the team.
Hey, Virginia.
Hey, Ivan, sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm kind of in the middle of something.
Yeah, this party rocks. Do you know if we get any hookers for everyone? Not just for me.
I think Benedict might have called some, but I'll probably opt out.
Simon, though, has no such hold-ups. He's eagerly putting thought to music. Aren't you, big fella?
Okay, but I'm doing mine a cappella. I went for a day to the park. I was not expecting to embark upon a journey of love. I said a cappella. It means a voice only.
You heard the man. Hit it, boys. Good work, men.
But when I did travel the road to happiness, I found at the end not a trace of the joy I sought. For the only thing I found was the slightly astounding sound of my own heart beating for a man. Oh, Virginia, Virginia, I think I want to be in ya, but I can't as long as you're a woman. You see, as a bloke with your deep, deep voice, there was mystery, there was mystery, there was secrecy, and there was manly poise. But now there's none of that, because you're a chick. Oh dear, oh dear.
Could you find the tune? Good work. Later that day, while dancing, Virginia puts forward a plan to Simon.
You know what? Because you like me more as a man, and frankly, you have got the girliest voice I have ever heard and a little bit of a sway in your step. Why don't we just swap genders?
But Simon has to think about it. Until the early evening, that is. Thanks for watching, the team. I hope we haven't moved your heart to anywhere you can't find it again. Goodbye and adieu.
Good game!
Hi, my name is Roddy McNeil and welcome to A History of Computer Games. What you're looking at behind me is 1K chess and the Sinclair ZX81. This is the kind of technical achievement that can bring a tear to a geek's eye. Here's a brief explanation as to why. This is 1K memory. This is the amount of memory a modern PC gaming machine has, and we're not including hard drive or virtual memory. A short skip and a jump leads us onto arcade adventures. This is Mazogs. You're searching a randomized maze, searching for treasure while avoiding or battling the titular Mazogs. If you find a sword to fight a Mazog, you always win. Otherwise, there's a 50-50 chance of this. Of course, it's when you find the treasure that things really get tricky. This leads us onto the mainstay of modern gaming, 3D. Welcome to the lair of the Tyrannosaurus Rex in J.K. Gray's 3D Monster Maze. Try to keep calm while being told that a T-Rex has just seen you, knows where you are, or is right behind you. You win the game by locating this. You lose the game by this locating you. In the case of Mazogs and 3D Monster Maze, updated versions have been released from colour graphics and sound, but have never kept the gameplay or the feel of the original. All this happened 24 years ago in 1982, which brings sharply into focus the fact that gameplay versus graphics is hardly any argument. Thanks very much. Bye.
Good game.
Nintendo, Atari, Sega, Namco, Konami. Just some of the great names in video gaming.
There's no doubt that video games worldwide have been heavily influenced by the Japanese.
And whilst in the West we embrace their games, the same is not true in reverse.
So why in a culture that's so into gaming do they not like Western games? Good Game went to find out more.
I think Japanese games are a lot more to do with fantasies, based on fantasies, not fantasies based on realities. You don't get many ideas about Super Mario in a Western game now, do you? You get Counter-Strike, you get Fear. In Japan, there is no boundaries of imagination. I think they want to get away from the very stressful society that Japan has. Japan's not a very open-minded country. Because of this, they want to break out when they're not working, you know.
I am Flood, a flash liquidizer ultra-dowsing device. I hope to be of assistance.
What type of games appeal to Japanese gamers?
They like games that are couched in fantasy, games that are whimsical puzzles, simple exercises that they can repeat, because it is about control. Even Final Fantasy, which is very popular, has a lot of abstract notions in it. The whole concept of the planet having a life force called mana, and then you derive your magical powers from mana. That is a really abstract kind of metaphor, yet it's something that they will happily buy into. That's something that also works for Western audiences. If you start from that idea, you begin to have an understanding of the kind of games that Japanese gamers enjoy more.
In Japanese gaming culture, what's the attitude towards Western games in general?
You do not say you play a MMO in Japan, because if you do, it means that you can't work. It affects your life, so you can't work, and they want to accept you on a job interview or something like that.
Now, the Japanese gamer does favor role-playing games and sports games, but there is a violent gaming culture as well.
If you understand their culture and their history, then you'll understand why they like sword slashers and role-playing fantasies. They had an old feudal system, they all ran around with samurai swords. It's no different from Western games that are about the medieval culture.
Western gamers do like Japanese games, but the same is not true in reverse. Is that a fair statement?
Yes and no. First of all, it depends greatly on the kinds of games that are being marketed to Japan. There are very few people in the Western market that has a true understanding of the Japanese gaming mindset. They don't understand what the Japanese gamer wants.
What is it about Japanese games that appeals so much to the Western audience?
I think there's this intimacy in Japanese games. There's a delve into the storyline. You can call it cheesy, you know, Final Fantasy, those storylines are extremely cheesy, but Australians tend to be quite embarrassed about watching cheesy stuff. But they do enjoy it, and it's anime. Anime is big in Australia, so.
And there's some more extreme games which wouldn't pass the censor here in Australia?
It's a stylized violence. You'll notice in games like Devil May Cry or Onimusha, it's a mostly bloodless game as compared to something like Gears of War, where there's just copious amounts of blood spilling everywhere. It's stylized because martial arts is all about making the violence look cool. Video games, a lot of people write them off in Western culture as being childish, for kids, for being cartoon-like. In Japan, they have an acceptance of cartoons and animation. They even have a whole genre for it called anime. A lot of Western game developers are always trying to pack in more pixels, more details, make it look more realistic. And it's always a revelation when somebody takes an artistic slant on it, like cel shading. In Japan, it doesn't matter that they haven't achieved a closer form of realism. As long as it looks stylized and it looks great and it's pleasing to the eye, they're happy.
As far as we're aware, the Japanese don't play or develop FPS games. Why is that?
It relates too much to the real world that's happening now, you know? I think Japanese want to really delve into the fantasy world, and they don't get that gratification by playing Counter-Strike. It's really stressing for them, perhaps.
So Japanese games have influenced the way in which Western games have developed.
Without a doubt. For a start, Super Mario Bros. Is one of the most influential games in modern game design. From that, you would not have Banjo-Kazooie from Rare, for instance. That was a phenomenon unto itself, but there were so many of the ideas in that game that were just ripped straight out of Super Mario Bros. The Legend of Zelda, there are many facets of its design that can be seen in other action-based role-playing games that are on the market now. Fighting games also, I mean, without Street Fighter 2, you would not have Mortal Kombat. I think what you're finding now in a lot of game design is that there's a blend of different styles because the consoles are so powerful that it allows you to put in all kinds of different game dynamics. I mean, if you look at a game like Grand Theft Auto or Fable, these are general sandbox action games where you just run around doing anything you want. But then there's character development as well, and then there's story. So then you have bits of fighting and you have bits of role-playing, but it's also action and you get to shoot people and you get to drive around in cars as well and kick chickens in the town square. And that's something that both the West and Japan can really explore.
Good game.
Welcome to the show. I'm Ed.
I'm Chris. First, a sneak peek of what's coming up. Oh yeah! Yeah!
That coming up in the next 3 minutes. Chris?
And now for the gaming montage.
Quad damage. You'll see.
Ed, let's move forward again. One for the noob.
Killed myself. Boom, headshot. Oh.
Losing.
Hi, I'm Kapowski.
And I'm Junglist, and welcome to the segment we like to call Bad Game. I'm gonna have to give myself 10 rubber chickens because I've got an awesome beard.
Well, I can't really give myself any rubber chickens because I'm not good at the games I play, except DDR. Yeah! I can win medals!
Hi, I'm Jack. I'm the PS2 player. Today I'm going to be playing Bully and Metal Gear Solid 3.
The review of the next game is one of my favourite games. It's just called... Anyway, the review of the game that I'm about to do is... Okay. Hold on, all right, you're good to go. Okay. Lost to a noob. Now it's time to calm down with some Pokemon. Oh, Jesus!
Thanks for watching Getting Into the Game.
We hope you've enjoyed the show.
And with any luck, we'll be seeing the beast soon.
I'm here at the Cross Media Lab in Singapore, where some of the greatest minds in the industry are here to talk about game development. Let's go talk to them.
Cross Media Lab is an event for digital media people it's international in its scope. It brings together people with great digital media ideas with some of the world's best practitioners. They work one-on-one with each of the project team's ideas in this digital media space. It's a very collaborative environment.
Ian Livingstone is one of the creators of Lara Croft and a founder of Games Workshop.
Well, you use miniatures in to represent your alter ego in D&D. You know, I am the barbarian called Amvar, and this is me. But that was only like one or two figures that you used in role-playing games, whereas Workshop changed tack and created its own game in Warhammer, which was basically about tabletop battles. So you have, you know, literally hundreds of miniatures on the tabletop. And so that's a great big splendorous battle in front of you, which is fantastic.
Noah Falstein is into serious games.
Everything from corporate training of executives to learn how to manage companies or finances for big Fortune 500 companies to, on the medical side, some applications that actually are alleviating pain, perhaps even saving lives. One in particular, for example, called Remission from Hope Lab, is a project that's helping kids with cancer learn what's going on in their bodies.
Tracy Fullerton is author of Game Design Workshop, an essential textbook in game design courses.
Rather than just going off and learning technology, to have them stop and think about the player experience and what it is that they want players to be thinking and feeling in their games. So we encourage people to actually prototype their initial ideas on paper, play test them to get objective feedback, and then iterate their ideas to make them better and better.
Carol Shaw is currently working on the much-anticipated Spore.
We're going to give you all these cool editors. You're going to get to make all of these great game pieces for your game. Because of the file sizes being so small, it allows us to share that content automatically in the background. Every time a user starts up the game, if they've opted in to join our community, they'll see all sorts of new content that has been downloaded just for that gameplay session, so that every time they play the game, it'll be a little different, a little more interesting, hopefully.
All right, so we're trying to check out some of the Singapore gaming scene, and I've had big troubles trying to find a store that'll sell me a camera. There seems to be no camera stores here. But right now I see an internet cafe, so I'm gonna own some Singaporean noobs. Let's do it. I won, but they're not noobs.
Good game.
have seen, the places I have visited.
You'll finish badly one day, gunslinger. Where will you go now?
To the north.
I'm here at Plastic Wax. They do animation for games. Let's go check it out. Nathan Madams, you're the creative director of Plastic Wax. Tell us about what you do.
Anything from sort of overviewing it from a very early concept stage, moving it through the boards and characters, approvals, getting the look and feel of the project, and working quite heavily with the team members in their various talents and areas to sort of achieve the final look of the project and watch that along its development.
So what have you guys done for Stalker?
Well, basically, from our point of view, a lot of our involvement has been really driving the story. It's quite a complex game with quite a lot of free roaming sort of options and elements that you encounter that are controlled by A-Life, which is this element which triggers different events as you progress through, or that have their own life cycle and life and kind of behaviours. Basically, there are a few story-driven elements, though, which get you to your end goal, and that was the area where we sort of came in to sort of help the storytelling process and the cinematic process in those events that you sort of have to go through to get to your end result.
This one seems to be alive. What a lucky guy. At least death would have saved you from the dreams.
What would you recommend someone that wants to move into this industry to do?
The idea of what we do is to try to create reality or a stylized reality. So it's observing other people, observing things around you, and even just looking at games. There are cool moments in games where someone will look at it and think that's great, but have a think about why it's cool and what it actually does. And then beyond that, just really get into the software, see what software you can get hold of, enroll yourself in a course. Although I've found that most of the time the baptism of fire in terms of really just getting into a workplace and starting at a junior level and then just working your way up's a really good way of getting your skills up very quickly.
Richard Pritchard, you're the man to talk to about the process of moving the game into the movie section. Is that right? What do you do?
Well, I'm a texture artist / sculptor, and basically they give me a image of the game res model, and I recreate it in 3D again, sort of high res, so it's more photorealistic.
And what software are you using to do this right now?
This is called ZBrush. With this, you can have a lot more polygons in your mesh. You can have high-res textures. You're not limited by any sort of gaming engine. Basically, when I've done my work, it will go back into Max, and they will rig it for animation. And they'll take my model and my textures, and they'll animate it.
And how did you get such a cool job? You know, what did you do to get here?
Well, you got to stay up till 4 in the morning studying this program all night.
So playing games won't get you here?
No way. No way.
Okay, so David, you're working on Stalker. What exactly are you doing with these models?
Okay, so basically to get to this point, it's gone through modeling, animation, texturing. It's my job as a lighting artist to take all that together, add lights, and basically make the final image, which is what we see here. With Stalker, it was interesting. We had a significant amount of work put into the lighting and the shading, to the way that the face looks, the way that the skin looks.
And what kind of hardware or software do you use to make the rendering and lighting?
We use Max and Maya. All the characters were done in Max and rendered with Brazil. The sets were rendered with V-Ray. Some of the heavy effects scenes were rendered in Maya. And all composited in both After Effects and Shake.
So who do we have here?
This is Gunslinger. This is the character that you play as in the game.
And how did you go about making him?
Gunslinger, we had a specific brief from the game. Of course, you can see the character in the game sometimes, so it has to match that pretty closely. We put in a bit more detail, obviously, because it's pre-rendered. We don't need to worry about that so much. And built up the face and all the different textures till we get the final character that you see here.
So you're so immersed in this whole process. Are you actually looking forward to the game?
Yeah, I really can't wait to play it.
Oh, awesome. Maybe I'll play you sometime.
I think for this one, I can give you
Yeah, man, that place looked cool, and you got to see some Stalker.
Yeah. Don't you remember? We spoke to one of the guys from the development team when he visited Australia earlier this year.
It is one of the first games that has really added a lot of RPG to a first-person shooter, and also depending on how you want to play it, you can play it very differently. You can play it kind of in a stealthy, very careful go through, or you can go in with more of a first-person shooter blowing everything up. You play a stalker who has lost his memory and is trying to find out what happened at Chernobyl after the second explosion. There's an area around it called the Zone that a number of strange things are happening. The culture is so different than any other part of the world that I've ever been to, and I think it comes through in the game. And the development team being there, I mean, it's a very different lifestyle, and it's just the country in general is very poor, and especially in the winter, it's very dark and depressing, and I think that feel comes through in the game. We've had people that have worked at Chernobyl come out and look at the game and just be amazed at the realism of it and the look and the feel. And
you have been a busy bee, and I can see why they keep on delaying Stalker.
But now it's due out in early 2007.
Sweet.
Hee.
Now, gamers, you know we love to give you what you want.
And one thing you really wanted, right from episode 1, was the...
So your wish is our good game command. With the help of Ross O'Donovan from Perth, take a look.
Kapowski? Junglist? Hello? Where am I?
Bomb has been planted.
Huh? This is DE Dust! I'm in Counter-Strike! Must hurry! Must hurry! Red wire, blue wire, red wire, blue wire, red wire, pink wire? That's new.
Terrorists win.
You know what? I kind of miss that yellow furry thing.
Yeah, me too.
And then the camera comes in for my close-up, and you say, "Peanuts, you're just a rock saw."
What's that you got there, man?
You're a noob, Jungie!
Hey, man. How'd you get a truck? Where's the button for truck?
Yeah, Kapowski, Junglist, those noobs from Good Game. Yeah, both of them. Start straight away.
Good game.
Modding your case has been scientifically proven to improve performance by 1,337%. Just look at this graph. So today, we're going to show you how you can create an awesome case mod in 5 easy steps. Step 1. Jagged holes. Jagged holes are an essential addition for any awesome case mod. Here's a tip. Don't bother filing the sharp edges. Blood will add to the authenticity of your case mod. Step 2. Apply paint. Replacing the standard color of your case with your own choice is an easy way to customize it. You can't go wrong with black or shiny metallic paints. Also, try plagiarizing a cool logo from an insanely popular TV show like Good Game. You can make a stencil of the logo and spray it onto the side of your case to give it that extra copyright violation feel. Step 3. Destroy some valuable electronics. Any piece of valuable hardware, such as a PS2 console, can easily become the latest victim of your rampaging quest for the ultimate case. To fuse the item to your case, you can bolt it on for extra strength, or use hot glue to ensure it falls off at the least convenient time. The awesomeness of the case increases exponentially with the expense of the electronic gizmo destroyed and fused to the computer, so try fusing your plasma TV or Xbox 360. Step 4. Goblins. The natural product of the unholy fusion between console and PC, goblins make a lovable addition to any case mod. Use your elite sculpting skills to create a few friendly creatures to adorn your case. Then, harness the power of electrons and give them cute little shiny LEDs for eyes. If you have no skills in sculpting or electronics, don't despair. You can still create some hideous blobs to ruin your case with. Step 5. Reassemble the case. At this point, your case will either be a smouldering wreck or a flaming beast of pure awesomeness, or neither. Now is the time to admire your handiwork. or take your smoldering wreck to a nearby computer component recycler and dispose of it in an environmentally sound manner. This concludes this informational video. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoy your new awesome case, or alternatively, enjoy shopping for a new computer.
Good game.
Well, it certainly has been a good year for gaming, hasn't it, Kapowski Million?
Oh, indeed, Junglist.
Flown right past it, has.
Oh, like a plane.
Tell me, whatever happened to health bars?
Health bars? Huh. So 2005.
Well, I wonder, what are your favorites over the year? I remember early on we had Galactic Civilizations 2, Dreadlords. Probably best known as the game that topped sales charts without any form of copy protection at all.
Ah, yes, and Australia finally got its graspy hands on Guitar Hero. Groundbreaking that was. Hey!
Oblivion boasted huge immersive worlds, heralded by some as the best RPG ever made. And of course, Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, yes, boasted a good cover system, advanced squad tactics, and decent multiplayer. A diamond in the rough of early 360 games.
Brain training was quite good mid-year. It was based on a Japanese book that applied an age to your brain. It doubled the fame of the Nintendo DS. Around the same time, the PlayStation Portable brought out Loco Roco.
Loco Roco,
yeah. Yes, little yellow blobs.
Accidents happened in Hitman Blood Money. Stormtroopers bathed in Lego Star Wars 2. And in September, we all let Tekken decide with Dark Resurrection.
Yes.
Best fighting game on a handheld, in my opinion.
Yes, there was Company of Heroes, Relic's World War II strategical game, very similar in style to Dawn of War. One day after came DEF CON, the slow-paced strategical blow-em-up nuclear game that was distributed on Steam.
Yes. Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence in October was out in Japan for about 500 years, but proved that you can revisit a game and make it better.
Ah, Splinter Cell Double Agent. Fashionably with no health bars.
And who could forget Dark Crusade? Another expansion for Dawn of War and another beauty from Relic.
Then Ubisoft followed up with Dark Messiah Might and Magic. Buggy at first, but fixed to be a great one.
Football Manager was a huge success overseas. And the week after came Neverwinter Nights 2, improving on the first one in many, many ways.
Ah, Call of Duty's 3 multiplayer saved its bottom from the bad books. Ah, and Tony Hawk 8 Nail the Trick mode is sure to be a great one.
Indeed. November has had a lot, hasn't it?
Oh, yes, indeed, Junglist.
I say, did you ever speak to the chap from the development team of Medieval 2 Total War?
Don't you know it?
Well, good God, man, show the clip.
Show it, chappie.
There's two real sides to our game. We've got our battles and our campaign side of the game. In the campaign side of the game, we've gone nuts. We've let people change the way they develop cities as like cities or castles if they want to get trade out of it or use it as like a military training centre. And in the battle, we've gone away from the armies of clones. That's the biggest change. We've got guys units full of individuals who act independently, look different, have different sort of things on their armour and weapons and that sort of thing. So.
And as we get closer to the end of the year, Gears of War lived up to its hype as the new Halo. In fact, overtaking Halo 2 on the Xbox Live.
Yes, indeed. 7 days later, we all got addicted to horny piñatas, and 7 days later still, we all bowed before Miyamoto's latest work of genius, Zelda Twilight Princess.
Oh, what a year. How many chickens would you give it?
Well, I'd give the year 7 out of 10 rubber chickens, all in all.
You know what? I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. 7 out of 10 for me as well.
Indeed. All right, serious now, serious. What was your favorite game 2006?
Well, you know how much I love Guitar Hero 2, but I'm going to have to go with Half-Life 2 Episode 1. A lot of people were skeptical when Valve decided to go with episodic releases, but Half-Life 2 Episode 1 proved them wrong. How about you?
I'm going to have to say Shadow of the Colossus. I mean, this game reminds us that gaming can be an art. Really, what you're trying to do is create an experience that others will want to enjoy. And at the highest level of this art is trying to trigger an emotional response in the player, which this game does brilliantly. Shadow of the Colossus, it's been out for a while, so it should be pretty cheap. Definitely worth picking up.
Ah, but here's the big question. What are you looking forward to in 2007?
Well, Supreme Commander floats my boat. Also, Enemy Territory Quake Wars. Tiger Woods on the Wii will be great. And a lot of the new stuff set to come out on the Wii, like the new Mario, new Metroid, new WarioWare. How about you?
Oh, the more I see of Stalker, the more interested I am. Plus, I'm really looking forward to Half-Life 2 Episode 2. It's going to be bundled together with Team Fortress Classic 2.
Number 2, yep.
And that Portal game, the puzzle one. And also there's a few nice titles coming out for the PlayStation 3, like that Motorstorm game we played a few weeks ago.
Absolutely. Of course, no one can actually predict what's going to be hot and what's going to be not.
Well, if you could predict something for 2007, what would it be? All right,
I'll have a laugh. I predict there will be 50 patches for Battlefield 2142 and it'll still crash to Windows.
Well, I see SingStar mixed together with Guitar Hero 2 and a new contraption called Drum Hero, all mixed together to make Happy Bandcamp Simulator.
I like it. All right, my turn. I predict A Current Affair will do an investigative report on the Wii, saying it dehydrates children and is the leading cause of addiction to exercise in Australia.
Ah, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
2007, bring it on.
Bring it on.
Good game.
We hope you enjoyed watching some of the entries to the Win the Beast competition.
Again, thanks to everyone that entered.
Okay, Kapow, it's time!
Oh! It's time to show the winner!
Good game.
World of Warcraft is one of the world's biggest online games. But recent rumours have linked it to devil worship and mass murder. Do these rumours have any basis in fact or truth? No. Did I make these rumours up just then? Yes. But what if I hadn't? A very real problem, however, is that of gamer addiction. Tonight we'll be taking a look at the lives of two ex-addicts whose addiction reached new levels.
We were totally out of control. I mean, one day we came to school and tried to find a group to slay one of our teachers so that we could level up.
The incident with the teacher was probably our lowest point. There were so many others though. I mean, every time we'd see someone walking their dog down the street, we'd freak out and think they were a high-level enemy hunter.
Yeah, Will's a nice guy. I've known him for ages. I haven't really seen him for a while though.
So what do you think of Will's World of Warcraft addiction?
World of Warcraft? What have I done? What have I done? What have I done?
Do you know how horrible it is to have to go to the police station, to pick up your son who's been caught running around the streets dressed as a mage after having assaulted a 62-year-old woman while screaming, "Die, Alexia! Die, you wicked fiend!" I'll never forget the look on those officers' faces. It was terrible. Terrible.
But it's not just World of Warcraft. Gamers of all genres are becoming obsessed with their favourite video games. These are just a few examples of the many lost souls that litter the nation.
There's a hostage situation! Everybody's gonna get out! Come on! Fucking cover! Everybody out!
Luckily for these misguided youths, studies have shown that addicts can make a quick transition from obsessions with video games to far less dangerous obsessions with heavy metal music. This process is extremely easy due to the similarity in content. rehabilitation clinics have been established, which wean gamers onto bands such as Iron Maiden, Mastodon, and Cannibal Corpse. It's good to know that our streets will once again be safe.
William, great job, man. The beast is on its way.
Congrats to you. Well, gamers, did you guess the game for this week? It was Parachute. It was one of the Nintendo Game & Watch series.
Parachute was first released in 1981. The story goes that the man who created Game & Watch, Gunpei Yokoi, saw a man playing with his calculator on the train and figured he could create something more interesting. He later went on to create the Game Boy.
So can we open up the prezzies now, please?
All right.
All right.
Here you go.
How I won the Ruffle Cup. That's real funny, dude. Yeah, I've got one for you too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Idiot's Guide to Facial Hair.
Well, Jung mate, it's been huge, but now we're at the end of the series.
That's right. Thanks to all our contributors, all our guests on the show.
And to everyone that sent us a competition entry. They were really fun to watch.
All our reviewers and posters on the forums.
Thank you so much for watching. Kapowski out.
Junglist over and out.
Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Good Game Lane. Junglist and Kapowski and Peanuts doing stuff that's really lame.
Game reviews and gamer news and how to own Noob's Ride. Ruffle Cup and Dark What's Up, all downloadable from our sites. Downloadable from our sites. Merry Christmas, Noobs!